And a very good morning to you. I've decided to do something a little bit different today. I've travelled about 2 hours south of Adelaide. I'm going to fish an area that I've never fished before. It's called Point Sturt. It's on Lake Alexandrina, and hopefully get a few fish. Okay, I've arrived at Point Sturt. It's a free camping area. Not too busy, only a couple of vans. So find a place to fish and get into it. Well, I have to say, nice area, but very limited for fishing spots. This is about the only clear path through the reeds. And as you go around that way, towards where that van is, there's a cliff. There is access here, just at the end of the campground, to what looks like a very nice fishing area, but the ground is incredibly wet. And somebody just there tried to drive their vehicle in and got bogged. Well, somebody got a fish here. I just wish they wouldn't leave them stinking on the bank. Local council guy mowing the grass in the campground, that's good to see. And I got a surprise a few minutes ago when my good fishing buddy Doug turned up. Now, I had no idea he was coming here, and he had no idea I was coming here. Bit early to be organising camp for tonight, but I've got some shade. Wouldn't think you'll find these conditions here very often. An absolute glass out. Ready to go. I'm only going to fish one rod. I've got worms on a paternoster with a tiny little sinker, and I'm just going to throw it out in the entrance to this inlet here where I've just burleyed, and we'll see what happens. It could be a bit fraught with danger trying to get big fish in here, I think. Never mind, we'll see what happens. It's very shallow. Very shallow. But I have seen fish in the reeds here already, so promising. Well, I've had one small bite already. It's only been in 30 seconds. Forecast today is light winds. I've had the drone up, try and get a perspective of the area, and a temperature of about 24 or 25, and then warmer tomorrow with northerlies, which at this spot will be coming left to right. So at the moment it's very pleasant. Pity about the sun in the eyes, but you can't have everything, can you? I just had a bite that just about pulled the rod out of the holder. Momentary hook up on quite a large fish, but the hook pulled. Be interesting to see whether this area is plagued with lots of tiny carp, like a lot of other places in the Murray. But I'm a bit concerned about any big fish running left or right out there. And then it's going to be a struggle. Right, bite here. Let's see if I can have a little bit more luck than the last couple. Come on, you know you want it. Get out of the reeds. Bit of horsing and he's free. It's not huge, but every fish is a fish, as they say. So small carp on worms. Another one, and he's in the reeds again. Can only hope that he'll swim out. Right, well I got them out. I say them because I got two. Neither of them very big. The top one's the bigger one. Not quite sure how I'm going to do this. I think I'll just let the bottom one flap. Back out there. Seems to be plenty of fish because when I struck that last one I saw about 3 or 4 take off. So clearly the burley's working. Another one, he's in the reeds too. Come out. I think you just got a no quarter type fight with these fish. Just as well they're not bigger. Right, well after Dr. Frank performed surgery, managed to get him off. Seems to be the consistent size at the moment. I've gone to a single hook because my 2-hook rig got ripped off into the reeds. Well, this is a bit like shooting fish in a barrel, except for the bigger ones which don't want to cooperate. There's plenty of these size models. Yep, they're all about that size. They're certainly consistent in that sense, but I wouldn't mind a bigger one. Oh, lost another one. Having a lot of problems setting hooks today. Well, that was probably the fish I saw in about 1.5 foot of water. So clearly I don't need to be casting out past those reeds and creating a problem for myself, because I can get them in closer. I'll just keep the burley going. And this one has not swallowed the hook, which makes a nice change. But he's got his fin caught in the net. No. There we go. Let's get the hook out. Hook's out. And he's got his fin caught in the net again. Now I've got fish feeding literally where the line goes into the water, and oh, that was a bite, and you can see the swell where he was. I didn't put a hook in him, so he's probably going to hang around. Burley went in just there, and they are feeding right in close. I can see shapes moving around. Maybe I'll give the next bite just a little bit longer. There's a carp no more than 4 feet out from me, just roiling around. It's not huge, but goes to show how close they'll come if there's food. Got him. Nice fish. He's trying hard to get in those reeds. That's the best fish I've caught today. is in the bag. Yep, that's a good couple of kilos. Okay, more burley in, and let's get the bait back out where they're feeding, which is about there. Oh, I lost him. Another small one. Saved him from going around the corner. That's good. A little bit bigger than the last couple. Didn't like the look of the net, did he? Here we go again. Yep, all seem to be about the same size, apart from the occasional big one, and then you've got the reed problem. More of the same. It's got very red fins, that one. Right, a bit more burley, just out in the entrance there. That's where I want the fish to be taking the bait, not out past those reeds. It's been quiet for a few minutes. What a beautiful day. Absolutely stunning. You wouldn't get many days, I wouldn't think, better than this. Well, that was on a combination of worms and bread, and there was no mucking around taking that. But same sort of average size again. I guess they'd be around the kilo mark, maybe a little bit less. In you go. But we'll go for straight bread for a while, see if that gets them going. They have been a little bit slow. Oh, there was some fish there. I sent the drone round to where Doug and Chris were fishing just before. That should be interesting. I don't know if they've caught anything yet, but I can't see why they wouldn't. The fish are going pretty well. So bread only now, and if I can't get bites, I'll take the sinker off. Yep. Out of those reeds. This is a better fish. Nicely done though, I say so myself. That's not a bad fish. It's back. That's a good one. Get him out of those reeds. Bit of horsey, I think. Get him out of there. Yep. Well, he's not as big as I thought he was. So bread by itself is doing the work. Yes siree, it's a mirror. First mirror I've caught. Pretty little fish they are. Unfortunately for him, he's a carp. There we go. Well, the bites have just about dried up. Take that one though. Get out of those reeds. That one was on worms. The bread did it for a while and nothing. So back to the worms. I think I've had a pretty good session. I think I'll call it a day with this one. That must be, well, I don't know, 17, 18 fish. Can't complain about that, and certainly I haven't been plagued by small ones. So that's a bonus. There we go. So I spoke to Doug. He and Chris have had a few fish round there on the rocks. Chris got a good one, about 7 pounds. I'm not quite sure about the size of Doug's, but they've caught a few. So pretty successful session. I'm happy with that. Go and get some tea organised now, get the bed and everything set up. So I've got the kettle on. I'm going to boil up some water, make some pasta, put a stir-through sauce in it, and have a cup of coffee, and then I'll go and see how the boys are going. The pasta's bubbling away, be ready in about 5 or 6 minutes, and then I'll put the stir-through sauce in. Drain the pasta. Stir-through sauce is in, pasta's cooked, just stir it through and heat it up. I'll be eating in 2 minutes. Sun-dried tomato and roasted garlic, my favourite. Well, day 2 and a very breezy morning. The weather forecast said the wind's supposed to be northerly, but there's the sun, and I would say that's very definitely easterly, and unfortunately straight in the face. Just organising some breakfast. Kettle's about to boil. Very healthy. Wheat bix and banana and a cup of coffee. Very wet last night, in terms of condensation. Look at the inside of the awning. That's going to take a while to dry off. Stretcher bed's quite damp on top as well, but good night's sleep. So let's get some brekkie in. Let camp dry out. Most of it's packed up anyway. And have a bit of a fish, but conditions definitely not as pleasant as yesterday. Even a bit of a swell coming in on this little beach. Anyway, we'll give it a go. There aren't too many other options around here. So I'll get set up, get some burley in, see if we can't get a few carp, and then probably head home. A bit of burley, just keep it fairly close. I'll tell you what, surfing would be a good option today. There's some big little rollers coming, big little, this is a contradiction, but you know what I mean. Some fair rollers coming in here. It's very hard to keep tension on the line. Well, I got one. Took a while. No. Pretty skinny too, really. I've burleyed up with corn and switched to corn as a hook bait, but not looking that promising, I don't think. Hey, thumping bite, caught me completely by surprise. Fish number 2 for the day, but boy, it's been slow. So there we go. Well, Doug and Chris have just packed up and gone. They said if they wanted to go surf fishing, they would have gone to the ocean. The last of the burley's gone in. I've got worms tipping corn, and I will give it 15 minutes. Well, thumper, right in close too, and it's not a bad fish. Keep out of those reeds. And he's in. I think that's about it. I had to have one more cast, but that's come to nothing. So only 3 fish this morning, probably about 20 all up. Good average size, and a nice spot. Definitely a place I'd come back to. Point Sturt.